Educator here at the Wise and Well Center at Keswick in Baltimore. Today we're going to take you through a Workout to Go brought to you by the National Institute on Aging at NIH. If you want to follow along with us, you can. You can always refer to their website for other videos or for programming that you can follow on your own time. So first place we're going to start today, and this is Sue, who's going to join us with the exercises and demonstrate. We'll talk about ways to do it more basic, or we can go through progressions and ways to make it more challenging as you progress or as you strengthen and become more flexible along the way. So the first thing we're going to work on today is hand grip. This is simply just a soft ball, kind of a stress-reduced ball, or a tennis ball works too for a little bit more firmness. So what Sue's going to do is, holding out front in her palm, she's simply just going to squeeze the ball as tight as she can, hold for just a moment, and then open back up. Normally you'd want to squeeze maybe 10 to 15 times. Again, not meant to be too challenging, but it's a good stretch, it's a good fit for most people. It can be used as a warm-up or just strengthening the grip. After about 10 to 15, you'd want to switch hands and do the same on the opposite side. Again, if you're using something more firm like a tennis ball, it's going to be a little bit more challenge. You're not going to squeeze it all the way, but it's a lot different than the softness of this. Very good. All right, so next we're going to move over and demonstrate with Sue wall push-ups. All right, so she's going to start with about a shoulder width or a little bit wider grip with your hands. There we go. All right, we're looking at her feet about shoulder width apart, back nice and straight, looking towards the wall. And now she's going to do a push-up. Bending her elbows, bringing herself in towards the wall, and then using her arms to push back. Stopping just before she gets to the wall, keeping her back nice and straight, exactly as she's demonstrating. Breathing with each turn. Ideally exhale as you push yourself back. We're going to pause, and a variation from there. If you put your hands a little bit closer together, it's going to feel a little bit more in the back of her arms. You could also tilt your fingertips a little bit closer together, making more of a triangle, and then demonstrate a couple for us there, Sue. Again, still keeping her back straight, using her arms to do the work, not tilting over, pushing back, and then one more variation could be a little bit wider grip, incorporating a little bit more of the chest and shoulders. From here, it's the same format, feeling a little bit more across the shoulders and chest. Again, a variation of a few of these, maybe 10 to 15 times each total. And we'll pause there and relax. Very good. You can also add variation by putting your feet together a little bit closer and more narrow base of support, and add some challenge as well along the way. So we're going to head back to the chair to another seated exercise. Now from here, you could do this, or you could progress to doing this standing if you're comfortable with your balance, or you can always do it seated. Right now, something you might have at home that's most accessible, just cans of soup or any kinds of can. And from here, we're doing simply a shoulder press. So arms are going to be about 90 degrees, palms facing away from her, and she's going to be pushing straight up above her head, full extension, and then coming back down where she started, ear level, keeping her hands out wide. Ideally, the breaths exhale on the way up, and then come back down and breathe in. Demonstrate a few more for us. Again, we're looking for about 10 to 15 repetitions for these strength exercises. Adding more challenge. We'll do about 2 more, Sue. Nice slow and controlled pace, just like she's doing. Good form. I'll take those from her. So again, the weights, that might be a good place to start. For some people, you might start just going through the range of motion, progress to cans of soup or any kind of can. From there, you can, if you have hand weights at home, anywhere from 2, 3, 4, higher, depending on your strength and where you're starting at, you can do the same type of exercise for more strengthening work with a heavier weight. All right, so that's for strengthening the shoulders and the arms. Now we're going to show you an exercise primarily for strengthening the hips, but also for challenging your balance. All right, so standing nice and tall, using the chair or a countertop, ideally at home, something that's not going to tilt over for support. Wanting to stand nice and tall, shoulders back, head up, looking forward is ideal. And now with the legs held straight, she's going to lift one leg, kicking all the way back, and then back down to the floor. All right, and continue that same side. And keep your toe pointed up as you go. Good. Notice she's not tilting or leaning over. She's using the chair for support, but not relying on it. Breathing each time, slow, controlled pace. Go ahead and switch to the left and just demonstrate. Well, you could do this with all 10 to 15 on an individual leg and then switch, or you could choose sometimes to alternate left and right. Challenges your balance a little bit different as well. All right, very good. We'll pause for a moment. Oh, catch your breath. All right, so for our next exercise, progression of that, also for strengthening the hips, challenging your balance, is a side leg raise. So very similar to what we were just demonstrating, kicking backwards. Now we're going out to the side. So still standing up nice and tall, head up, lifting your leg out wide, and then gently back down, doing about 10 to 15 times. Keep demonstrating that same side. Now the way you progress from this, if you have ankle weights, if you already have them at home, wearing ankle weights anywhere from 1, 2, or higher amount of resistance on each ankle for these leg lifting exercises, either out to the side or lifting back, is going to add resistance, more challenge as you progress. You might want to start with ankle weights right from the beginning if you've been doing this for a while already. Good. So we'll continue to work on strengthening legs and challenging your balance. So still holding on for that same support to feel steady, shoulders back nice and tall. Now she's going to go through heel raises up tall onto your toes. So Sue's going to be going up, keeping her knees straight up onto her toes. Pause for a moment and then gently and softly back down. So she'll demonstrate a few for us. Keeping an eye on her feet. Watch how she's rolling to the ball of her feet up nice and tall, raising both heels and then softly coming back down. Not pulling on the chair, but using it for support. Again, the way you can also challenge related to your balance is holding on a little bit less, holding on with just fingertips or fewer fingertips. Again, this is a little bit both challenge to your balance, but also strengthening your calves, your lower legs. So from there, naturally, we can progress to more specifically balance training, and Sue's going to show us standing on just one leg. So holding on for support as much as you need at the beginning, simply just picking one foot up off the floor and holding in the air as long as you can. You try to hold a little bit higher. There, good. Now the way you can progress from here is taking maybe one hand off of the chair, just having a few fingertips, potentially taking both hands off if you feel steady. Impressive, good. All right, and then you want to switch, try on the other leg. You're trying to see how long you can hold. It's completely fine to hold on to the chair the entire time as you have your one foot in the air. But as you get better, remember you need to progress, challenge yourself so you continue to get the benefits. So now we're going to go into a heel-toe walk. So we'll go ahead and turn facing you. Now if you need some support and stability, you're going to want to hold on to something, be near a surface, a countertop, a wall along the way. If you're a little bit more steady right from the start, you can do this without as close of a support or not holding on as much. So Sue's going to join me over here, turning facing the wall. You're going to simply walk heel to toe, one foot directly in front of the other. Again, the more you're holding on for support, the more support you will get. But let's put down heel and then toe, putting one foot directly in front of the other. Shoulders back, head up is going to help. So she's able to demonstrate kind of the more challenging version, not holding on. Remember, there will be moments of instability that gives you a chance to practice losing your balance and regaining it. Perfect form, heel down, toe down, nice straight line. Again, this is the more advanced demonstration. It's okay if you stay near a chair and maybe just step one foot in front of the other along the way. All right? How you feeling so far?
Good, not out of breath.
Perfect. All right, so we're going to have Sue sit back down. All right, and holding just one leg out, we're going to kind of demonstrate some stretches, some cool down movements and exercises you can do as well. So holding one foot out straight ahead, Sue's just going to point her toes straight down and then pull back, pointing up towards the ceiling. Getting some flexibility in her ankle, nice, slow, and controlled. Do about 10 to 15, and then switch to the opposite leg. Just show you a few on the left leg, same thing. Get slow and controlled, nice tall posture as she sits. Deep breaths along the way.
Should this be higher leg or is this good distance off the floor?
It's a good distance off the floor. Doesn't need to be higher. Again, these are kind of cool down stretches. Really about just getting some motion in an important joint. All right, so we'll bring your foot back down. Now we're going to move up a little bit higher, stretch in the lower back and the hips. So turning toward me to her left, Sue's going to turn just her upper body at her waist, and she's going to kind of reach to the side of the chair. Notice she turned her shoulders, her head looking that left direction. If you have a smaller chair, different setup, you might be holding a little bit more onto the chair. Sue has good range of motion and is able to reach further back. If you have any limitations in your shoulder itself, you might need to hold to the chair itself like she's doing here. All right, when you turn, you want to rotate into the right. She'll demonstrate the same thing. Keeping her feet flat, knees forward. Okay, the more flexibility you have, the more stretch you can reach around. Should feel stretch, challenge, but not pain.
Yeah, I feel the stretch.
Perfect. Good. All right, so now stand back up for me, Sue. We're going to turn the chair. All right, now we'll get a little bit more stretch for the larger quad muscles here in the front of the leg.
Okay, you think?
Here we go.
So give me the direction, what am I doing?
Ready or not?
Okay.
All right, so now reaching, kicking your right leg back. You can use the pan of your leg if you need to reach down further. You're pulling up, trying to feel that stretch in the front of your leg. All right, so for our next stretch for shoulders and chest, we'll turn, so we'll see from different angles. So what she's going to do first is she's going to reach her left hand up over her head, give herself one pat on the back, and now her right hand is going to go with her lower back, reaching up, trying to touch your fingertips toward each other. I'm going to have,
Sorry.
not bad, have your right hand facing out so I can see your palm. So I'm going to turn it this way. There we go. Her fingertips on her upper hand are there, and she's just trying to reach as close as she can, feeling a stretch in her shoulders and chest. Again, she feels stretch but not pain. All right, go ahead and switch. Now I'm going to also have her grip onto this band each end. Could be a band. If it is, that can allow you to give a little bit of distribution and stretch. We're just stretching, so just hold. Don't need to pull it. Good. So this could also be a towel. If you just have a towel at home, you can hold it. The towel also helps you. It allows you to both, you could stretch further, but at the same time, if you have a limited range of motion and you can't reach as far down your back in general, the towel allows you to hold and get the stretch. So it can make it more challenging. It can also be an adaptation if you need a little bit of help. Stretches, generally you're wanting to hold 35 to 45 seconds holding on each stretch. Good. Go ahead and let go. I'll take that band from you. All right. So very good. Takes about maybe 10 minutes or so is all you need to go through those exercises. Again, feel free to follow the video workout along with Sue. You can use things you have around home, or if you do have exercise equipment, you can use that as well. You can also refer to the videos online or the articles that show you step-by-step instructions along the way. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.